easy for anyone. Well, welcome back, viewer. If you're just joining us, you're watching GBS Morning Extra. Our hashtag is GBS Morning Extra. Our Twitter handle is at KenyaGBS. SMS line is 21144. Our email is info@gbskenya.com. You can get to watch this very episode on Facebook, streaming live right now, and also you can catch us later on YouTube as it fared. Now, during the break, before the break, I actually mentioned we want to talk also about women and leadership in the country, and especially political positions. Several issues said to be threatening the position of women in politics in Kenya, and one among them is now the latest, the new kid on the block who's been going around the country trying to get votes, Kuru Okot, with his Punguza Mzigo initiative. And I think we have a bite from the Nakuru County Assembly. Maybe you can just run a bite of a lady, MCA, who mentioned something very critical about what she feels about the BBI. If we have that video, maybe we can play it. Well, as they are sorting that out, the Punguza Mzigo is cutting, the number of representation. And in the name of reducing, the load in terms of, how many people are paid. And it's telling us that they're trying to save these billions of shillings that is paid to people who purportedly, according to them, are representing us. What do you make of this?
My take is, the Punguza Mzigo initiative, my worry is, we are Punguzan the Mzigo. Yeah? Which mechanism are they putting on to safeguard what we are saving? Mm-hmm. Because that is where the corruption is.
All right.
At the national level. Mm-hmm. Okay, you are Punguzan Mzigo from the MCAs, from the MPs, from the senators, from whoever they are Punguzan the Mzigo. But which mechanism do they have to safeguard what they have saved?
They've talked about how they are going to minimize the time in terms of how, prosecution is done and, when reaching conclusions in terms of cases of corruption. They've stipulated very, high, standards of, condemnation or how can I say?
Convictions.
For people who are found to be involved in corruption. And I think this is their justification, that they are going to prosecute and make sure that people who are found to be corrupt, it's not just business as usual, because we've seen cases of corruption since we started hearing cases of corruption in the country. We've not heard of any clear convictions.
Of late, you see they stopped stealing millions. Mm-hmm. They are stealing billions. Every week there's 5.8 billion has been stolen, even 2 billion have been stolen. And even there was a report that 900 billion are normally stolen every year from the Kenyan government. Nobody has been prosecuted. We have not seen any prosecution.
And that's what they say now they want to bring to an end.
Governor, but now which mechanism have they put to safeguard this money? That is where my problem is. Okay, they are Punguza Mzigo, they have taken all whatever the seats they want to take, which they think they are a burden to Kenyans. But now, which mechanism do they have to safeguard this money where they are going to keep it so that it can go to the... because even governors are eating this money, by the way. Yes. Many have got corruption cases. Yes. They have done nothing. Yesterday I was watching somewhere in Nyeri. Mm-hmm. Children are walking through a very risky tree. Then someone cannot
in the name of a bridge.
In the name of a bridge. Someone cannot even put a rock. At least for those kids to be safe. How many are fallen in that water, which we don't know?
Sure.
You see?
And someone has been in power since 2017.
You see, there's a big problem somewhere. Mm-hmm. Even the counties are not safe. Even if you say counties are being given money, they are fighting to be added money. Mm-hmm. Where is that money going? Mm-hmm. There's nothing much to show on the ground. Mm-hmm. Because most of them now, what happened, like the first governor came and employed these people. The second governor removed the first governor, he came and employed his people on the top of the people who were employed by the first governor, which mechanism is supposed to be used because people are employing relatives. So at the end of the day, you as my brother, if you become a governor, I'm going to fight so hard so that you become a governor because I'm also going to benefit from there. So how are Kenyans going to break this? Because there is a problem somewhere.
We had cases where, Duale's family was involved in almost all the tenders that were given in his county for in Garissa County.
In my county, a governor has 29 companies, which he surprised everything in my county. So you don't know who does business to who, because he's the one who does business with his company.
Because they're the same people also who control the tendering process.
Yeah, and they're the people who control who is going to be paid and who is not going to be paid. So there's a big problem. Even doing business in the counties has become a big problem.
But let's come back to the matter of women and leadership. I'm told that the video is ready here. Let's listen into this, and then we can take it from there.
Look at what this bill is talking about in terms of the deputy governor's position. This bill is proposing to scrap the position of the deputy governor. And then it is going to say any time the vacancy arises in the office of the governor, we should go for an election, Mr. Speaker. Between having to let the constitution run the way it is, in which the deputy governor automatically takes over, and going for an election, which one?
As many as the Congress say, the ayes have it. That's being said out there on the bill, including some of the propaganda.
I think we missed the bit. The video that actually I wanted us to run was where this MCA lady with a hijab was, standing and saying that if they pass the Punguza Mzigo, then definitely that is going to take away the gains that have been made and is going to scrap off all these positions that women have actually been given from the county level, to the National Assembly and the Senate and so on and so forth. As a woman politician, Madam Kanana, do you think, because most people have also tried to argue that why should we just hand positions for women? Why shouldn't we also create for a men's representative? As opposed to, why shouldn't women compete on a level playing ground with everyone else?
What I can say, women are still unrepresented in this country. If you compare the representation in Kenya and Rwanda and Uganda in East Africa, it's only Kenya which has not given women a big part of representation.
Yes.
And you remember there is a two-dan gender rule, which was supposed to have been passed. It is still mingling somewhere.
According to the timetable, the constitutional timeline, we are already out.
Yeah, we are already out. Of even this parliament is unconstitutional because they did not amend the law of women to be represented at that.
Yes.
And now, what we are doing is that what women have, they want to take it. The 47 women MPs. They want even to remove it from the system. But still, we are not represented as women. Okay, they say that we want to be given free seat. I contested in Roysambu.
Yes.
I've contested twice, 2013 and 2017 as a member of parliament. But the ground is not very conducive for women. Because once there is violence and then there is this name maligning. You saw Sudi what he was saying about Shebesh yesterday, which is very, 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 very wrong for a man to stand in front and say that this one is bright. I cannot even repeat those ones.
Sure, it's so bad.
It was very wrong for Sudi. I think even Shebesh should do something, take the Sudi to court, because that is wrong. As Shebesh is a mother. And even if she went wrong in a political whatever, deal with that the way you deal with men. You don't go to
be personal.
You don't get personal, and then you don't use gender to attack her so directly that she is what and what. So, women representation also has a problem, because I don't know why Kenyan men fear women leadership.
And that's why Ekuru Okot, Gideon, in his proposal, he's saying that he's going to give a man and a woman and a man and a woman in every county. So at the end of the day, we have a 50-50.
50-50
the two-third gender issue is solved. Kaput, like magic.
That is where another problem is. Like me, let's say I come from Meru County. and then we have a man and a woman. And then we have 9 constituencies. And in those 9 constituencies, there are different people. There is a Gembe, there is Tigania, there is Imenti, there is Imenti, this one. Where are these people going to come from? Because it's going to be a total war. Where are these two representatives?
And that's where now we need to challenge ourselves then. Is it just about representing tribes, or is it about representing groups? We're talking about women, we're talking about men, and we're talking about the county. That to me, that sounds fairly like solving of a problem.
Let me tell you, we are Africans, and let's not run away from it. Even now, we have a problem in leadership. It is normally revolving tribal affiliations. And let's say, even now in the government, you see people saying our people have not been appointed, our community has not been appointed, our people have not been appointed. That one will not go. I'm giving you let's say maybe in your county, or even in my county, that where are we? Who is going to be a women representative from which side? Because there's Tigania, there's Igembe, there's North Imenti, and even the Imentis themselves. Let's say there are 6 constituencies in Imenti. Where is this representation going to come from?
The areas are going to vote for that.
Normally, as Madam Kanana is saying, that the ground, normally there are so many dynamics in the ground. You find that, for example, a county, let's say Nairobi, Nairobi is now diverse. Kiambu, for example, or even Kisii, where I come from. You find that a given community or a given clan is the one which is going to front a given candidate to be as a women representative. You find that some clans will also feel now that they are being neglected. The issue of my people, our people, that aspect of us being tribal. To the issue of now women leadership in the country has made very tremendous strides. You find that from time immemorial, you have the likes of Kina Julia Ojiambo, Wangari Maathai, Martha Karua, Kina Charity Ngilu, the likes of Kina Waiguru, the likes of Kina Mama Ida Odinga. They've made very tremendous strides, the likes of Kina Njoki Ndung'u. And we are saying that let us, we are a patriarchal society whereby the father figure or the man figure is largely accepted, and the woman has been taken as a second fiddle. But what we like to say is that we would like to encourage a society whereby women are given more roles, more representation, so that and we would like also to urge the National Assembly under the stewardship of Aden Duale and the Jubilee Party, together with the likes of Kinambadi, let them come together and let them pass that 2/3 gender rule, so that...
But also, another challenge, Gideon, I think, that we need to be realistic about is, when you look at the voter, the statistics that were given after the registration, the voter registration,
women are the majority.
We had majority voters in Kenya are women.
Are women.
And then how come that they are not able to go to the ballot and vote a woman? No matter how hostile the environment might be, outside there, let the men dish out the money. Let them receive the money. But then when they go to the ballot, it is their vote. It is that one vote that the woman, actually it's the women's votes that count, that put these people how can we...
Let me say something, yeah? When we go to votes and when we start campaigning, yeah, there's always a man figure somewhere. Asking me why. Like now, we have 2 groups, Embrace and Inua Mama. You know who is on the Embrace side is a man figure.
Yes.
The person who is ending Inua Mama is a man figure. And you see these 2 women now, these 2 women groups have started fighting
vigorously. Exactly.
Yeah? And it is not very good for this country, because women are peace. They are supposed to make peace. Now, you can see the 2 men figure. It happens even the campaign time. There must be a man figure somewhere to say that this is the person, because when they are doing the alignment, they will say, okay, you're going to be the governor, you're going to be the senator, and Kanana is going to be whatever. Even now, if you don't have the affirmative seats, the 47 affirmative seats, you'll not be seeing women, because Nairobi has got 17 constituencies. And it's only one woman who has the affirmative seat. The other written, they are all men.
They are men.
So even if you see women making noise, they are the ones who have the affirmative seats. But these other men generating seats, they are very few.
And speaking about that, there's something that I raised during the break, and it's something that maybe I would also like us to talk about. When you're giving us the list of women actually who have participated in this, in our political landscape, we have the likes of Charity Ngilu, who I think was the first woman to actually throw herself out there and say, I want to be the president of this country. And she did tremendously well, I would say, in that time when people had never even dreamt of a woman candidate, leave alone a woman president. We have the likes of Julio Jambo, we have the likes of Grace of God. These are people who are formidable in the political landscape. Then comes the 2017 elections, the 2008, 2007 run up to the 2008 elections, where we had the post-election violence, of course, very unfortunate times in our country. But we saw the likes of Martha Karua, who stood firmly. Actually, she is among the soldiers who stood firmly with Kibaki and told him, you're not ceding this seat to the opposition. And she played a very key role as the Justice and Constitutional Minister. Fast forward, 2017, she lost her seat. She petitioned her challenger. She lost it again. She appealed, she lost it. And now she's going to the Arusha court to get this matter addressed. What do we make of this?
You know, Mother Karua has been a fighter in the political landscape in this country. Her contributions are immense. You saw the kind of work that she's done for this country. Yes. She is also an advocate of the High Court. You see now she has performed very well. Now to the issue of appeal against the election of Anne Waiguru as the governor Kirinyaga, is untimely. Why am I saying it is untimely? You find that we are remaining with very few years down to 2022, and the matter has been in court. She has been losing battle after battle. I think it's time that Mother Karua calls it off and leaves Anne Waiguru to concentrate, because 2022 is there. She will go back to the competition. And
but she feel aggrieved. She feel like justice has not been served. Catherine, I mean, she's not satisfied with the justice system.
Yeah, for Mother Karua, what she's doing, I wish her well to continue with her fight, because it is a noble fight. But for her position, she's a national figure. I wish she's taking the corruption cases in the East African court, the corruption which is being not a one-county petition. For there, I would have given her a salute. If she went and took all the corruption cases because they are not being prosecuted here in a manner which we see, sure, she would have taken that mantle, because she's a national leader. And also she's a seasoned lawyer. Yeah, she's a seasoned lawyer. She has been a justice minister in this country, and she's known all over. She would have taken that mantle of fighting the corruption cases in this country. For Anne and for Anne Waiguru, she would have given her this chance, because Mother Karua, she's not the only person who lost elections unfairly. There are so many. Kabuga has been crying here every day that he was digged, he was done. So many people went like that. So sometimes to swallow the big part. Kanana, are you telling me to accept and move on, to still embrace the ideology of accept and move on? But you see some of the evidence he's looking at, maybe she's taking there. Some have got, she lost the evidence somewhere in these Kenyan courts. It might not be easy also where she's going now, because there's something we call government system. If you are not in the government system, then you just forget it. Gideon, yes. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
Martha Karua should just accept and move on?
I agree with that. You know, I told you that the dynamics down there in Kirinyaga, there is the people are even wondering what is the problem with a woman who they respected, and they are saying, why is she always complaining? And you know, when the people down there are complaining, it is also going to be very difficult. I've told you for an example whereby the brother lost, he was competing in a directorship position, and people attributed Mother Karua's issues to the brother, and the brother lost. So the dynamics down there are very different, and Madam Kanana has indicated that Mother Karua is a national figure. She should have concentrated on national issues, and that one would have even rebuilt a brand. You know, right now she's on the receiving end. Look at NAK Kenya. NAK Kenya right now as a party is not even being heard in the flower party in the political landscape. Let her concentrate on issues of national importance, and let her wait till 2022 to be able to take the governorship if indeed she's popular on the ground. But if she goes to Arusha, it is going to be tedious, it is going to consume a lot of her resources, and also as some evidence, you realize that some evidence was missing, so it is going to be a very rough ride for Mheshimiwa Martha.
But she hopes to get justice there because she feels that the justice system in Kenya has failed her.
Yeah,
She's going there because she believes that she has evidence to prove. She has a formidable case.
That is Martha Karua. Martha Karua, she's famously known as the Iron Lady. She has always believed in her case, and she has always believed that she has all the evidence. So it is up to her to decide, but also let her also know that she needs to be relevant in the political landscape, and a way of her being relevant is even now toning down our approach to issues. Yeah.
Well,
Martha, she has attacked in 2007. There's a time also she sat on justice, and we know that. And people are telling you, Mother, what you did to others in 2007 is what is happening to you now. Justice has not been there in Kenya. So you are going through the same pan where people went through. So you fight your wars so that you understand how people felt in 2007, because there was a lot of fight. In this country, she was standing on one stand. Even another problem is that Mother was given a justice seat in this country. She walked out. She left the seat.
Yes.
That is very, very, very needy for a leader. You don't just walk out. You just sit there and fight.
Yeah, you remember even
That is where she lost it all.
Yeah.
Because she left so many people, orphans, who are looking at her, who are saying this is a Iron Lady, she's going to fight it on, please fight it. She walked out of everybody.
Martha Karua
You don't just walk out if you are
she
leader.
turned her back on the electorate.
Yeah, you do not even elected in a way. A leader, you don't walk. You don't walk away.
You
have
face the challenges
You are
and
the
overcome
Minister for Justice in this country, and you just walk away. No, you don't do that. You just fight when you're on that seat. No matter how, even if they kill you, let them kill you when you are seated there, but don't just walk out. Never make that mistake. So even people are remembering that scenario also.
Yeah.
They are saying she might be a governor, and then we put pressure on her, then she will move her. She will walk out.
Away on
That was a mistake, Mother Karua, and that's why she lost it. Yeah.
Well, as we conclude, do you think that Kenya really, we are ready to embrace that level of what we ourselves engraved or put in our constitution, the gender third rule? Do you think that we are actually able to achieve that? Is it possible to achieve that, Kanana, and how?
It is possible, but the mechanism now to achieve it, that is where the big problem lies now.
Right.
Because when we say nominations, women nominations, you don't get the leaders who are nominated. People nominated their relatives, people nominated their campaign managers, their side chicks, their whatever, bango candos. So there should be a mechanism that women leaders who contest, and then they lose either number 3 or number 2.
The
runners-up should be considered. If it goes that way, it's going to make an impact on women, because there are so many women leaders, vibrant, I know. But in 2013, they didn't make it, in 2017. And campaign is not easy.
Yes.
You just go broke completely.
Sure.
So those women should be considered, surely, because to be a leader, it is walking out and coming out and saying that I want to be elected. It is not easy for a woman. Like in my community, Meru, Tharaka-Nithi, those two ninis, you have never had a woman a member of parliament. Since 1963, they have never elected a woman. I think even Kisi. All these women you see from men, whatever, they are sitting on affirmative seats. Those they
not
were
elected.
They are elected,
Yes,
women reps are elected, but those are affirmative seats. They don't compete with men.
Sure.
Like where I vie for MP, that is where you competed with a man. But in Meru, they have never elected a woman since 1963. And it's not only in Meru, so many communities, they don't give women a chance. And what I am begging them now is to consider to put more women in seats, because Rwanda is growing tremendously. Why? They have over 70% women representation, even in Uganda. So why don't you give women a chance and see how they are going to overturn this country?
Well, that's Catherine Kanana there. That's her views. The community should think and should elect. Some communities should consider electing women in these positions. Gideon, your closing remarks in a minute.
My closing remarks are that in women, in terms of women, is that we need the government to, in coordination with the county governments and various groups within society, to be able to empower the Kenyan women. Remember that if the woman in Kenya is empowered truly, she is going to make informed decisions, and they are even going to educate other women within society so that they are able to elect each other. Moving forward is that let us hope that the handshake is going to bear fruit, and today we expect that there are not going to be demonstrations, and the IBC should be able to. They should be able to. Yeah, they should be able to provide the register.
Thank you, Gideon, Kingoina, and Catherine Kanana. Thank you for accepting our invitation and coming to the studio. Viewer, we have come to the end of this segment, and you heard for yourself. You know, educate a man, and you educate an individual. Educate a woman, and you educate a village. Well, we have come to the end of this program today. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Timothy Omondi. Do have yourself a lovely day. We pave way now for the sports news with Kevin Merrick.